Hi and welcome to McLouis Motorhomes. I'm Andy and today I have the pleasure to show you around this McLouis Fusion 360. If you don't know the McLouis Fusion range, I can tell you it's part of the Trigano stable of motorhomes, and in an ever increasing price range market it still offers really good value for money. Why Fusion? Well, the manufacturer tells us that it's a fusion of continental flair and UK specification. Considering they have a rear lounge model, the habitation door is on the UK side, and this model has a transverse rear bed, you have to say they may have a point. The 360 is a 4-berth, 5 travel seat coach built motorhome. It's only 6.99 metres long. It's an incredibly spacious unit, whether you're a couple who like to tour, a family of 4, or grandparents who occasionally like to take the grandchildren away with you. Now, apart from being a very attractive motorhome, they have a standard 140 brake horsepower engine and manual or automatic gearbox alternatives. Both are a joy to drive and can be driven on a standard driver's licence, as it's a 3,500 kilogram unit. This, however, can be upgraded to 3650 as purely a paperwork exercise if you require the extra 150 kilograms of payload. This will mean, however, you would need a C1 licence. Let's take a look inside. In the cab, we have cruise control, steering wheel controls for the radio and your phone, a DAB, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay or Android Auto media centre, and a reverse camera. Cab air conditioning, traction plus, built-in cab blinds, driver and passenger airbags, and these 2 large cup holders, which can hold 2 large cups of coffee, which is great if you're on a long journey. The captain seats both swivel. This helps to maximise the whole of the 6.99 metre footprint of this motorhome. With the captain seat swiveled, this gives you a really spacious lounge area, which is also great for entertaining. The table also moves in all directions, and we have a 5th travel seat behind the passenger seat just here. You could easily sit 5 people in comfort in here. Above, we have an electric drop-down bed, which will also sleep 2 adults. This is great, as most motorhomes with fixed rear beds are owned by couples, but it's always an issue if you want others to come with you. The drop down is a great option, as it's not a fixed unit. If you don't need it, it's in the roof, forgotten. In the kitchen, we have a large streamlined 3-way fridge freezer, which also has an ice box. Besides the fridge, we have these 2 slide out storage areas with retaining clips. Great use of the space. Work surface, although not massive, is workable, and of course we have 3 hobs and a sink. Above the hobs we have an extractor, which is a very pleasant addition. Below the hobs we have an oven grill combo, and below that a cupboard which houses your gas isolator switches. Beside this we have another cupboard which has slide outs out. Now this really maximises the kitchen storage potential. Here we have the 12-volt control panel. Now this will give you all your fixtures with your lights. It'll also give you your water pump and your batteries. Flashing there telling us that there's no water in the fresh water tank. Press it again, we go to R1, and that'll tell us there's nothing in the waste. Over here we have your control panel for your Truma heating system, which is a combined gas and electric unit. Below, of course, we have the habitation door. Do have blinds on there, and of course they have a fly screen. Just be careful with your fly screen. If you've got the door open, if that slams shut, it will catch the bottom. So just make sure that's in on a windy day. The bathroom houses a separate shower, which is a really good size. The tray has 2 plug holes to aid with water disbursement. Above the toilet, there is a storage area, and below that, a mirror and window. The latter is opaque for privacy and is great for getting rid of condensation. Below, there is a storage area behind the toilet and a good sized cupboard besides that. Back to the toilet itself, well, that has a swivel to make sure you can always be in the most comfortable position. The 360 has this large transverse double bed at the rear. There's plenty of natural light thanks to the window and skylight. The back wall houses these storage cupboards, and we have reading lights above the window. At the opposite end, there's pre-installed TV prep. The transverse bed is a great use of space, allowing the van to come in at under 7 metres, but not slicing parts of the bed off just to try and wedge it in. Yes, it does mean the person on the far side has to climb over the other person on the near side if you want to use the facilities in the middle of the night. But that's the compromise on this particular layout, and every layout has its compromise. Next to the bed is this really good sized wardrobe, and access to the boiler is below that. The steps up to the bed are, when they're open, they have storage in both. And they're big enough and sturdy enough to be of use, making getting into bed and, more importantly, getting out of bed an awful lot easier. This hatch here allows for access to the garage. This is great if you don't want to go outside to get anything every time you need to get into this very large space. It's also very popular with dog owners, as your dogs could easily have their own bed down here and they're not under your feet. Better for them, better for you. I'll see you in a bit. The garage is a fantastic size. It can be used for bikes, a scooter, or any other thing you could think of to fill this space. Going back to the dog point, you could easily partition this space, still allowing for copious amounts of storage, but also your dogs have their own space on this side. With the door open, it allows for access in and out of the habitation area. This is great for your dogs as they have their own space. So if you're busy moving around inside, they can move out of the way to a less stressful area. And as we've seen, how easy is it to get in and out? I'm not a dog, but I can do it. So when we look around the 360, what have we got? Well, we've got a large panoramic sunroof on the top. And then of course we have these stylish Fiat alloy wheels. The vehicle has full remote control central locking, which also works on the habitation door. While we're talking habitation, you can see that the steps are built up into the chassis, so again it means you don't need the step. Cassette toilet, large garage. As we look around the rear, you'll see that we have a reversing camera just there, and if we were looking on the roof, we've also got a solar panel up there. This side again we have the same size garage door, huge garage in there. It is a proper scooter garage. Flue for your heating, electric hookup point there, and then of course we have your fridge vents, gas locker, water filler there, and your water drain just there. The real beauty of this motorhome though is the fact that it is only 3,500 kilograms, which means you don't need a C1 license. This really is a great family or couples motorhome for touring or short journeys. Now, for a full list of features on this model, please refer to the specification list on our website at nickwale.com. Or why not come and see it for yourselves, because it really is worth a view. And we look forward to meeting you soon.